Alright everybody, I'm going to give you a quick little video using just showing you the book I made. It's supposed to be like kind of a junk journal, but to me it's more like an art journal since I didn't use a whole lot of junk, I guess. I did use a lot of my stash that I've been like hoarding and never touched, like the fence you see here, these little brads and things. But this is my little art journal book that I made using Charming Fragments by Tsunami Rose, and it's called, it's a journal kit actually that you can get. It's a downloadable journal kit you can get from Tsunami Rose. Just look at Tsunami Rose on Etsy. So it's etsy.com/Tsunami Rose, and you can find all of her different kits. Her kits are so pretty. Tons of paper that comes in them. Like I said, they're all printable. They're on sale half off till I believe the end of July, I want to say. So it's only $2.50 for a kit. It's ridiculous price. Super duper cheap, but super lovely papers that you get. You get tons of them. You get enough to fill up a whole journal, as you'll see. There's a couple of pieces in here that are extras from a couple of our other kits that I happen to have lying around that I wanted to use just because they were there. Trying to use everything I can. But let's get started. I'm just going to do a quick flip through, see everything we have, point out a couple things. Hope you like it. So this is the book again. Charming Fragments is the name of the collection. I used that big paper right on the top here. Used some doilies. This all is just this bluey silver shiny bit you're seeing here is some tissue paper that I just Mod Podged on. And I kid you not, I used 2 bottles of Mod Podge for this book, plus a little bit more. I ended up having to make extra. I had those little 2-ounce bottles. Used about 2.5 of those worth of Mod Podge on this thing, including glossy accents and 3-in-1 glue and just tons of different types of glues to hold different things. Some mini roses that you'll see here. So for the label here, actually, you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see that right there, but it's actually 3 layers. So the bottom paper right here actually already had the label saying Charming Fragments. Plus it comes with a couple more, so I cut them and layered them 3 high or 2 high with some pop dots. So that just to give it a little dimension and some nice, I used a lot of pop dots to make sure this didn't cave in or dent or anything like that. Oops, so my little charm fell off right there. I'm gonna have to glue that back on. But added some bling. Bit of spray, some distress paints, distress inks. I also used this scented one from the scented color spray from Hampton Arts. It actually, everything smells right now like grapefruit because all this pink is grapefruit. Used some sprays from, like I said, Tim Holtz, Hampton. Also used some Heidi Swap just on a couple things. Especially like to lighten up, like for instance, some of these flowers and things change the colors a bit. Believe it or not, these were green and these were a brighter yellow, so made them nice matching colors now. We used a little wood picket fence that was in my stash. It's been sitting there forever. Painted that up with some Tim Holtz distress paints and some Heidi Swap sprays. Used some Flower Soft in here in earth and meadow. Love those. Hard to find now. I've run out of local scrapbook stores. All my LSSs are gone. Only have a few. Luckily I have a friend that sells scrapbooking things as well. Have some doilies in here. The back here, another page from the Tsunami Rose Charming Fragments collection. Love the paper. Like I said, it all coordinates great. So even the extra pieces I put in here coordinate really well. Some extra little keys and things that I had. More sprays. Let's just see both of the spines, and you'll see that it's got a lot of tuck in. Now this book that I'm actually using is from Tim Holtz. I'm not 100% on what it's called. A friend gave it to me as a gift. It basically just came with the outer shell and a little piece of sewn together craft paper on the inside. It was just kind of sewn into these little flaps, I guess, and I used it actually to put together the book, and I'll show you in a minute. But the book, when it comes, it's just a craft colored hard cardboard. You can kind of see a little bit sticking out there. It's a little painted over, but that's how that comes. So let's take a look inside. Flip through real quick. Just take off that band, And it opens just by flipping everything open. You can kind of start seeing everything moving on its own. So there's these cool little flaps here. Both pieces of paper from Tsunami Rose. Again, the Charming Fragments collection. And you open up these flaps and you can see comes with a little label that I put here. It says the happiest of people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the most of everything that comes along their way. Like that. I actually had to rip it a little bit just to make it fit. So it's kind of cool. There's a little flap there. There's another little flap right here. Sorry for turning it sideways, just want to make it fit. But here's another flap here that has a little tag text spot that I made, just glued around the edges with one of the little pieces of paper that come with it. It's supposed to be like a little postcard or looks like a note or a message of some kind. Comes with the little tags. Like I said, these are all printable, so you do have to cut them out, but they're pretty easy. She lines them up pretty well, so they're easy to cut, like on your paper cutter or by hand. Nothing's too crazy complicated. You can even run it through like your Cricut or your Silhouette and have it cut it out for you if you want it to. So you can see that it's popped open right here. This actually just goes like this. Hopefully you can see that all in the camera. Just checking that, make sure you can see it all. Yep. So on this side, I just added some roses just to give it some space here. Like I said, you see all of just the tissue paper all in here. Just have some more of the Tsunami Rose paper, some leaves in here. Leaves, sorry. Some little stick pins that I made. I love making those. I ended up making like 150 of them in one night because I was enjoying it so much. Little tags here. Here's a little pocket. Like I said, the pocket actually comes with your kit. You just assemble it. It's pretty easy. 3 little steps, cut it out. Same thing with all these little tags and bits. The other thing is like they come really close together in sizes, so you can actually make fronts and backs really easily. Like this one here. And that little tag goes right in there. So this is the other side. Remember I said it came with like a little piece on the inside. If you can see this little spine area here, it's actually a paper that was sewn together all in little flaps. Let's get started here. Don't know why these roses are still wet. They have been wet since yesterday. I cannot get them to dry. And yes, I left it open and tried to dry them. I haven't tried the heat gun. Probably should I try the heat gun. It probably will dry up quite easily. So again, this is a little circle spot that came with it. There's a little other saying or like a little label underneath, but I wanted to pop it up and it just says cold cream. It's kind of neat. Added some bling. You see like little blue chip stamps. I made some spatters, things like that. Added the ribbon here to hold this piece together. And the reason I made this so that it ties together on the inside like this is so that these flaps are able to come down and close like that. So I had to do it that way. So let's get started here on this inner portion. So it's kind of fun, a couple different areas you gotta untie and look through. I like more secretly spots. So as you can see, I kind of staggered up and down each page, made sure everything got inked up. You can see all the inky bits except for that last page right there. Oops. Added some drips and things like that. More stick pins, more labels that came with it. Little shield looking thing. Love this. I like doing this. The little envelope pieces that came with it. I used some of the extra paper and made little flaps out of these. You got some tags that come out here. Kind of neat. So you can just flip that around. I'm sure you can see all that shimmer. It's kind of neat. Put that back in here. Another little page here. Some more little labels and things. Love how it has like some labels already for you, so the pages are kind of set up. You can write in here, add pictures, some more pages, and you can kind of see the sewing right here with the little paper that came with the book. Just some little metal stick-ons. They look like rivets. I like the way they look like they're hammered in or something. Some bling from my stash, so I had some like little different gems and things, some butterflies. Sorry, it looks like I kind of hit it. I'm just going to straighten that out a bit. Sorry about that. Made a little tuck spot right here with another little tag, or big tag. could be used as a tag. You can use these as bookmarks. It's really great. Did some drip marks, little bit that came with it. Put it on top. Made this little tuck spot out of a doily that I just kind of wrapped around it. There's a little cherub, roses. That just tucks in there. Did the same on the opposite side, so I just wrapped it around, little other tuck spot with more tags. It says, "You are my treasure," little label. It's kind of cool. Page is actually, I think, still wet. Some more little flowers. Got these little bits of flowers from the actual floral section in Michael's because they were paper, and I was like, get a whole bunch really cheap. Added this little piece of ribbon here to hold this tag. Added a backing paper to it just so it wasn't so thin. Almost everything in here really I've printed off a 65-pound Recollection cardstock so that the pages stay stiff and they're both back to back. When I cut the pages, I actually didn't cut each page out individually. 2 of them come per sheet, these full ones. Every time you print it on 8.5 by 11, and I just kind of scored down the middle. They're close enough that you can just fold them and you don't notice like a seam or anything like that. It's kind of neat. There's another little label bit. It's kind of helping that stay in place. See the back side of that. Just added some more doily space there. Added some gems and some more doilies. Love how, again, comes with some writing space on its own. So the pages are set up real nicely. There's always a spot for you to write in or add things to. More doilies. Another little tag spot right here. Love this tag, it's cute. This is another tag I just turned sideways and made it into a holding spot. Some stamps that I stamped on there from the dollar section of Michael's. Tuck spot with some doily in there. Added some little tags in there. There's actually a couple of them. Another little section with the label. Another label. Little resin flower. Another little tuck spot. You kind of see that paper. Now this is where it starts with a couple of the extra bits, and I'm not 100% sure where these pieces came from, which collection, but you can find them all in Tsunami Rose. Same thing with this tag. And like I said, all of the pages blend so well. You can use any of the collections together. It's really great, but they still have differences. So if you want something more bright, you want something... Sorry about that little pause there. A flood warning came in and stopped my camera. So again, we'll pick up where we left off. Again, like I said, all these pieces coordinate with all the other collections, which is really great. My printer had actually stopped working, so I'd asked Daisy, she's the one that made Tsunami Rose. She actually offered to give me a bunch of her printouts. Luckily, she's here locally in Vegas, so I was able to just meet up with her. She's also my friend, so hi Daisy. But she gave me a whole bag just full of extra bits she had printed out because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get this done. But luckily, my printer started working. I was able to print out all these papers so I could make the book. But I also had these extras, so I went and threw those in. Luckily, they're all already cut for me and stuff. I think she used, what are they? The Spellbinder dies to cut these out, so they came out pretty cool. There's a bunch of that in here. So we're almost done here. A couple of pages, just added some bling. Kind of wanted to leave this one open because I liked all the way the drips came out. You can write on it, add pictures. Another tuck spot with some more doilies. A little giant ticket actually on this one. Should have added backer on that one. That one came out kind of messy to me. Love the front, the back needs some work. But see this paper? I love this print. I don't know, it just came out kind of cool to me. Another tuck spot, another tag. I think I oversprayed. Another little section here with another label. It says, "We cannot change life. We can only change the way we live it. The only way we cannot change life. We can only change the way we live life. Any moment is the best moment, and any place is the best place." Some more flowers in here. Oops, a little extra debris hanging out there. Almost done. Another one of those extra page pieces that she gave me. These three here are actually some extras from another collection. Look again, you can find all these pieces on her site on Etsy. Tsunami Rose. And the original one's all Charming Fragments, and these are just a couple extra pieces. You can all find them on her site. Another little flap that I made. And the last tag right here on the last page says, in the end, it's not going to matter how many breaths you took, but how many moments took your breath away. Added some gems around here. And that's basically the whole thing. So you can do a quick flip back over. Go backwards just real quick to get the rest of that in here. So you can see the pages one last time in there. If you have any questions on how I made anything, just ask. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, my blog, misfitcrafter.com, on Pinterest. You can basically find me anywhere. Look up Misfit Crafter. Subscribe, write me below on YouTube, whichever place you'd like to, you can find me. So I'm just going to tie this back up, and you can see how we close this up. So we're just going to tie that, this all in here. This gets tucked back over here. That gets tucked down. This gets tucked in. That gets tucked in. That gets tucked over. And then you just pull up these pieces of elastic. I think I'm going to change the elastic out to at least be white, just because it's so dark. Although it kind of goes with the front here. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions? Again, don't forget to subscribe. You'll see more videos. I have a ton more stuff coming out even just later on this week or next week. I should have another assignment actually using this board you're seeing below me. If you want to see what this turns into, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. misfitcrafter.com.